Let me get some tea. I'm sorry. It's green tea if you wanted to know. It's Bigelow Classic Green Tea and it has lemon in it. I hear green tea and lemon for you in the morning is a good thing. Now, I'm going to go on ahead and confess that is low-key 12:07 p.m. It's noon, but I work until 4:30 in the morning and don't get home till 5, so I don't wake up until like 10:30, 11. You know what I'm saying? And that's with me still only getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I'm fine. I've been getting a lot of feedback from my Bill Cosby conversation and the conversation of rape and whatnot, and I love it, so I'm gonna respond, sorta. So I just want to say that first off, starting off, is that I will always believe the victim. Whether or not to you it's the victim, I will always believe the person who says that they were raped, period. That is just my code of conduct in that matter. I will always believe the victim, period. It is a heinous thing to have happen to somebody, being raped. But it is also equally a heinous thing to try to get justice, call out your rapist, and then to be shunned and made feel bad because you stood up and said something. Now, on the flip side of the coin, it is equally horrendous for anyone to claim that someone raped them and have it not be true. That any person who would lie about being raped is a terrible human being. I don't have the right or the knowledge or the clairvoyant magical powers to know whether or not they're telling the truth, and it behooves me to believe them. And I would want somebody to believe me and support me if I were to do that, if that were to have happened to me. It can ruin his life, but it can also ruin the woman's life too. That's the thing that I don't understand about the naysayers, is that it ruins the woman's life too, and it has ruined the woman's life for thousands of years. She is victimized. She is vilified. That's the way it's been throughout history. Even now, I think in some Middle Eastern countries, if a woman comes forward and says she was raped, she gets in trouble for it because somehow she caused the man to behave in that manner. There's nothing that you can say to convince me. There's no conspiracy theories that you can send me and email me and talk to me about and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Like, I don't care. It's not going to change my opinion. You know, 18 women don't say something about you and have it not be true. And on top of that, like, Beverly Johnson does not come forward and say, hey, you drugged me. He didn't get a chance to rape me, but he definitely drugged me. And I only got out because I took a lot of drugs in the 70s, so I know how drugs feel in my system. I'm just gonna sip my tea because it's none of my business. There's a lot of confusion as to what rape is. Rape is when you do not have the expressed permission of the person to enter their body. I believe that women rape women. I believe that women rape men. And if we lived in a culture and a society where men were allowed to step forward, if men felt more comfortable coming forward and saying that they were raped by a woman, maybe we would change the culture of rape. Whole wheat basil, whole wheat bagel with Weight Watchers cream cheese and jelly. It's not healthy, but you know, whatever. Until we change the culture about how we see sexuality and how it isn't different between men and women, and boys should not be over-sexualized too early, the same way girls shouldn't be over-sexualized too early. I know biologically men, blah, 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 women, whatever, before men, and such and such and such. But no. Like, if we ran on biology, when a girl got her period at 12, she would be considered a woman and then married. You know that there are girls who get their period at 9 now? 9. So let's not run on this whole biological. There are people who mature faster than others, and that is just it. Sometimes it's more likely to be women than men, but sometimes it just isn't. We gotta stop thinking of things being so black and white and women are this and men are that, and things aren't so black and white, and there's way more gray when it comes to biology and physics and all these things. Yes, in general, men are gonna grow to be stronger and bigger than women. He thought it was okay and he didn't know, and they were on a date and she was drunk and she was throwing all the signals, but then at the last minute she tried to pull back. We can just really cut out all that rhetoric if we just say to our young sons, hey, unless you have the expressed permission to have sex with this person, you are not to have sex with this person. You don't care about the signs. You don't care about what their body language is telling you. You need to ask them, are you okay with us having sex right now? There needs to be a moment. Are you okay with us having sex right now? And that'll solve a lot of problems, especially with college students. We gotta change the culture. Don't get mad at the woman because she comes forward. We need to start getting men to come forward, making the playing field equal, because we need both sexes to admit it happens to both sexes. Just have the express permission. It may seem like an easy thing, but people always, oh, I got caught up in the moment. There were drugs. There were blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm sorry. I know drugs happen, and I can't say to you, you know, don't be drunk or don't have drugs. And I know a lot of people are usually on or doing the both or one or the other when they have sex. A friend of mine told me. She said to me that most sex happens after the bar. I can't tell grown people not to do what they do, but, you know, men need to protect themselves. The same way women have to protect themselves. And you're thinking, why should we have to protect ourselves? As a man, a woman should just say, be very clear, look, women have to protect themselves when they go out with men and be aware of the surroundings. And what we're taught that if we don't wear short skirts and if we behave a certain way, then we won't get raped, because that's why people get raped, because they're wearing short skirts and walking down alleys at night. Please. Or because they're promiscuous, so they deserve to get raped. Or because, you know, they put it out there so they deserve to get raped, or somehow they brought it upon themselves. No, none of the above. The same thing with men. Men need to be aware when they're having sex with a woman who's too drunk. Men need to be aware, you know, when a woman is uneasy. I don't know. But I think everybody needs to take responsibility for their behavior and their actions, and everyone needs to feel comfortable coming forward. And I know it's not easy, but I think that if once we start getting participation of men in this topic and in this culture, and especially when it comes to same-sex on same-sex crimes like this, we don't even talk about that at all. I had a friend who was in an abusive relationship. She was in a what I thought was a lovely relationship with this woman, and it turns out the woman was beating the shit out of her. It's no room for that to be discussed when it's a woman on a woman, because you're already outside the fringes of normal society or something, and so therefore anything that happens within that relationship is not valid, because it's, you know, you're boldly going where no one, I guess, has been before, and so, you know, the laws aren't necessarily on your side. They don't care. They don't care if your lesbian girlfriend is beating you up. And we need to start acknowledging that this happens and broaden our view of sexuality and sexual abuse and violence and all of that, so that we can start including other people, so the dialogue and the conversation can grow and get bigger. We live in this world, and we have to, you know, acclimate to it. We can't pretend that things don't happen, and if people only had the Lord or believed in a God, then things wouldn't happen. It's not true. We just all need to take our heads out of the sand and acknowledge it. That's all I have to say about that. My condolences and my heart really goes out to the family of the men, the NYPD officers that were slain last week. It's terrible, and it's really misplaced, and I feel like it was used as an excuse. I think that it is most likely, and it is something that is going to derail the movement that is happening for social change when it comes to the oppressed in this country. And you can tell that the person even wasn't, like, he just wanted to do something. He just really attacked his girlfriend. She's gonna be okay. I thought she died, but she's gonna be okay. He shot her, then he went and shot 2 random police officers for no reason, trying to link it to the cause that's happening when it's nothing to do with the cause that's happening. Or maybe in his mind. And we need to talk about his situation and his mental capacity. And then he went and shot himself. That should be indicative of the whole situation. I read an article where these NYPD officers are wearing shirts that say, hoodies that say, I can breathe. I can breathe? I don't understand. Are you saying, haha, I'm not oppressed, I can breathe? Because the I can't breathe is so much more than just Eric Gardner's last words. I'm not sure if this is the exact last words, but there's so much more than that. And like, oh, I can breathe? That is a slap in the face, and it makes you look so heartless and completely off the topic at hand. I can't breathe is the stifling of the minorities or the the oppressed in this country. We can't breathe. We're tired of being shoveled into certain roles in this world, in this country, and being judged harsher because we're not white, being seen as older and more malicious because we are not white, being seen as thug gang members and whatever because we're not white. That's what it means to not be able to breathe. I can breathe. I'm glad for you. We know you can breathe. We're aware. Are you now aware? Are you now aware that you can breathe and the rest of us can't? What exactly does I can breathe mean? How exactly are you saying, how exactly are you proving the point that he deserved to die? Don't resist arrest. So therefore, that means you deserve to die. I actually had a friend who is married to a cop, and he told her that in the state of New York City, if a cop says to you, you are under arrest, and you even put your arms out like this and say, whoa, and back up, that is considered resisting arrest. So those of you who live in New York City or New York State, just so that you know, here's a PSA for you. If you go, whoa, why am I being arrested? That is considered resisting arrest. I'm a tax-paying good citizen of this society, and I don't know that. I could easily, if something were to pop off and I were to be in the middle of something and a cop were to decide that he's going to take me down to the precinct and I'm like, whoa, why are you going to arrest me? Me putting my hands up and backing up is me resisting arrest? So then, therefore, I deserve to die? No. I'm going to finish my breakfast. Thanks, you guys, for coming along with me. I'm going to try to get this video up as soon as possible. Next time you see me, hopefully, I will have makeup on. And yeah, I'm going to do a video about New Year's resolutions. What do you guys think about New Year's resolutions? Maybe I'll be putting makeup on while I talk about it. Thanks, guys. Bye.